Es más, yo soy Daniel y tú me decides. Bailemos, porque la vida es más bella bailando.
Hi everyone, welcome to Bailemos Melbourne. So today we have a focus not on bachata, because bachata is all through Melbourne right now. We're going to bring some salsa back because we need it and we love it. And we have an amazing ambassador that we have in Melbourne, which is Sanushka. So thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Today.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, and we are so happy. So can you tell us what brought you to Melbourne originally?
Literally, it was my parents back in 1989, and it was just to come here and obviously have a chance of a better life more than anything else. I'm not sure if that answers the question.
Yeah.
Is that too specific?
No, that's great. So you came from?
Sri Lanka.
Okay.
So I was born and raised in Sri Lanka.
Yep.
Lived there for 8 years, and then moved to Australia and moved straight to Melbourne.
Okay. And so tell us about your dance journey from day one to the amazing dancer you are today.
Thank you. It was again very cultural in the sense that it was the environment that I was placed in that affected, what I was seeing and what I was hearing. In Sri Lanka, like so many places around the world, we would listen to music that you would dance to. And whenever we went to a cousin's party or a dinner dance, you were kind of expected to get up and have a dance. It wasn't too formal, but you would see your parents and that generation doing swing, jive, foxtrot in their own kind of fun, quirky way. And that really had a huge impression on me. I wanted to learn to dance like that. I know this probably is a bit controversial now, unfortunately, but Michael Jackson was definitely my biggest influence in music and dance. And my whole life, especially in those first formative years, he was definitely, my biggest inspiration. And so a lot of my friends circle were also into MJ, so we had common interests and common likes. So combination of Sri Lankan culture, constantly having music, with your family and parents rather, and Michael Jackson, without a doubt.
So note to all the parents out there, get some music in your house
and
get your kids moving.
Absolutely. No,
and so when did you discover, sort of what was the first Latin style, I suppose, that you discovered?
I'm not embarrassed to say this, but it is funny that I would say later on it was all the commercial artists like Ricky Martin, Jennifer Lopez, later on Mark Anthony. But to be honest, earlier than that, my parents would play Caribbean music, Harry Belafonte, and Santana, like some of his old stuff like Black Magic Woman and Oye Como Va. So all of those really famous artists, and then eventually into Cuban artists like Alexander Abreu and Manolito and Adalberto Alvarez. So they became more specific. So it started off really broad commercial artists. And eventually into very specific artists.
And so what was the first dance class that you did?
The very first dance class I took, I think I was about 19 years old. I had just finished uni. My high school friend at the time, he was obsessed with Ricky Martin. He wanted to be like him and dance like him.
We all want to be like Ricky Martin.
Right. So this is just showing you my age and how long ago this was. And he would drive past my house and he would go to this, it was called like Diamond Creek Dance Center or something like that. It was a little bit out of the way. Anyway, so I said, look, it's a great way for us to catch up. I've always wanted to learn to dance. I've never formally learnt. And so that was around the age of 19, first year uni. And I think the very first style of dance I learned was lambada, not like the proper Brazilian version. It was just like a really fun, I guess, version that they were teaching rather in that style, but in that class. So lambada, a bit of jive, a bit of foxtrot, really kind of formal styles. And I was just doing group classes sporadically. I was a little bit nervous, even though I was familiar with music and dance. But I just kept going because I guess I had a friend to go with, and then I fell in love with it.
And so what were the next steps for you after that?
When I went to Sri Lanka not long after that for a holiday, my uncles and aunties kind of caught on that I had been taking lessons. And so they all said, you have to show us your moves. And It was a really kind of fun thing, and so I actually still remember we were in like my auntie and uncle's room. There was about 10 of us, and I just started teaching them these basic steps, and they didn't mind at all if it was taught properly or not. It was just a great way for all of us to get together, and I think it really had a big impression on me because everyone was having fun. It brought all of us together. I guess, you know, when you're quite young yourself, you suddenly feel this confidence because not to be egotistical or anything, but you are then the center of attention, and you've got to then focus on how you're delivering it. And I was a little bit inspired by that as a teacher or as a potential teacher to then make sure that I passed it on correctly. So that was my first teaching experience, and it was full of joy. It was in a very supportive family. Then I came back, and then a high school friend of mine was teaching at a fairly kind of prestigious dance studio, and I had a bit of a crush on her. And so she said, you know, why don't you come and learn to dance with me? And I said, of course, I'll come, you know. And you know, all of the crush aside, she was actually a brilliant teacher, and she really helped me, and I learnt quite a lot. So her name is Ruth Ong, and that was at a dance studio called Arthur Murray. So very kind of old, famous studio, and they had some fantastic teachers and a more formal way of teaching it. And that balanced out, I guess, a lot of the kind of street way of learning. You know, because I come from more of an untrained background from a young age, and then more formal training afterwards. So then again, learning ballroom dancing, learning a bit more Latin dancing, a couple of different competitions, and by then I was very much hooked with the actual art form of dance.
And so now tell us about sort of what classes you're running.
Right, so these days we're very much into Afro-Cuban and Colombian style. I mean, we love all styles of dance, truly. I teach over 50 styles, but not necessarily at a very advanced level. So I'm more of a broad dance teacher. I'll teach people about the artistry, the music, how to pick up beats, how to connect with yourself and how to connect with others. So in a more broader way. And then in terms of specializations, you know, Afro-Cuban rhythms, Cuban salsa or casino, Colombian style, you know, a bit of Michael Jackson, hip hop. There's you know, a bit of Argentine tango, and we dabble in lots of different things. But we like to consider ourselves more general, broad dance teachers, and specialising in Afro-Cuban. So our classes are Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays.
So guys, if you want to check out, I'll put all the links in the comments. So the school is Danza Latino, and we're so happy that you joined us today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you all on the dance floor.
Thank you so much.